starting on red today, you need to just simply subtract 10 or take away 10. And some of us might not be ready to do big 10 jumps yet. So if you jump back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then draw your 10 jump, that's okay, as long as you record at least one big 10 jump over your little jumps. Because when you move on to the unstructured number line, you will jump whole 10s and then the 1s. So that's all you do. Start on the first number, circle it, jump back 10, circle it, and don't forget to write take away 10 in your jump. When you move on to orange, you are subtracting teens numbers on a structured number line. So when we take away a number, we always start with the 10s. So we must start with 28, don't forget to circle it, jump the 10s and then jump the 1s. So here on the example, we have 1 10 to jump. So 28 becomes 18 because the 1s do not change, and we go from 2 10s to just 1 10. And then once we've taken away the 10s, we must take away the 1s. So 1 big 10 jump and 4 1 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we must circle what we land on. So the answer here is 14. So when we take away a teens number, we must jump the 10s and then the 1s. Starting on the first number, 1 big 10 jump and then the 1s jumps. Moving on to green, and it says use a unstructured number line. Now you're probably thinking, Miss Vaughan, you've never taught us what's an unstructured number line. So an unstructured number line is simply a blank line drawn on squared paper if you have it. If you don't have squared paper, we have popped a template of squared paper on the website, so just print one off if you've got access to that, and if you don't, just give us a shout. It works on blank paper, it's just easier on squared paper. So just like we did with the other number sentences, we always start with the biggest number, 34. But because we're going to be jumping down the number line, we don't start at the beginning of the number line, we start at the end of the number line with our first number. And then, just like we did before, we always jump the 10s and then the 1s. But you will see with the green number sentences, there aren't any 1s. So we just jump 1 10. So 34. And just like the other video where we represented the 10s with our fingers, 34 has 3 10s. And if we just take away a 10, we have 2 10s left. So 34 becomes 24. And actually, it's a good point to mention here, guys, that when we take away a 10 jump, we try to aim for 3 boxes and we write take away 10. So 34 becomes 24. And we write our answer next to our number sentence. And then if we look at the next number sentence, we're starting with 56. So 56. How many 10s in 56? Well, if I need to double check, I can just draw my T and O. But there are 5 10s in 56. So if I take away 1 10, I'm left with 4 10s. So 56 becomes 46. 3 squares for my 10 jump. 56 becomes 46. And I take away 10. And if you need to use a 100 square, that's absolutely fine, or a number line to help you. But if you do use a number line to help, it'd be really helpful if you just write an N and an L next to it so that we know you used a structured number line to give you a hand with that number sentence. So we've moved on to unstructured number lines, but if we need a structured number line to help us, we just write NL so that the grown-ups at school know that we had a little bit of help with that. Now, Miss One wanted to show you a teen number take away 10, because when we look at the tens and the ones, we know that the ones do not change. 56 becomes 46, 34 becomes 24. The ones are staying the same. But when you have a teens number, you only have one 10 to take away. So a bit of a sneaky way of doing it is just cover up the 10. And then you know the number that you are left with is 8. So 18, 3 squares for a 10 jump, take away 10, 18. If we take the 10 away, because there's only one, we are left with 8. Now this last number sentence, Miss Warren thinks is the trickiest, because it's quite easy to go 64 becomes 54, 54 becomes 44, 44 becomes 34. But when you get to 24, you don't say 1 4, you end up with 1 10. So 2 10s take away a 10 leaves you with 1 10. So we go from 24 to only 1 10, but we still have the ones. We still have those 4. So 24 becomes 1 10 and 4, which is 14. So when we move on to purple, you will notice that we are not just taking away 1 10, we are taking away 1 10 with some ones. So we need to look at the 10s and the ones. So if we had 27 take away 14, we still start with the first number, 27. And then we take away the 10s and the ones. So we take away the 10s and then the ones. So we have 1 10 jump. So 2 10s in 27. If we take away 1 10, we're just left with 1 10, which is 10. So 1 10 jump, take away 10. 2 10s becomes 1 10. And then I know what's going to be in the ones column because the ones do not change. 27 becomes 1 10 and 7, which of course is 17. Now I've taken away the 10s, I need to take away the ones. So this is where I put 17 in my head and count back 4 ones. So 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. And I write my answer, and I must write my answer next to the number sentence. So 27 take away 14 equals 13 because I do 1 10 jump and 1, 2, 3, 4 ones jumps. That's how I can check my answer. So let's do another one. 38 take away 11. So I've done 38, that's the number I start on at the end of the number line, and I jump 1 10 and 1 1. So starting with my 10 jump, 3 squares, take away 10, 38 becomes 28 because I end up with 2 10s. And then once I've taken away the 10s, you've guessed it, we take away the ones. And there's only 1 in 11, 1 1. So 1 10, 1 1 jump, and we go from putting 28 in my head, 28, 27. And my answer is 27. Then when we move on to gold, you will see that it's no longer just 1 10 jump, taking away a teens number. It has multiple 10s and multiple ones. Multiple just means more than one. So more than 1 10 jump and more than 1 1 jump. So we just start at the end of the number line as normal with our first number, 48, and we're taking away 25, which is 2 10s and 5 1s. So 2 tens jumps. 1, 2. Take away 10, and you guessed it, take away 10. So I've started with 48. 48 becomes 38. 38 becomes 28 because I have 2 tens left. 2 tens and my ones do not change. 28. So 48, 38, 28. I've done my 2 tens jumps. Now I've jumped the tens, I need to jump the ones. So if you need to draw your 5 ones first so you don't forget, you can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to count back in ones from 28. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. And then my answer is 23. Again, if you want to give gold a go, but you need to use a structured number line for taking away the ones, that's okay, but just let us know if you've used a structured number line to give you a hand. Then Miss Warren's last example for today, 67 take away 32. So starting at the end of my number line, I've started with my biggest number. Take away the tens, take away the ones. But here you can see Miss Warren has 3 tens to take away. So 3 10 jumps. 1, 2, 3. And in my jumps, I must remember to write take away 10. So 67 becomes 57. 57 becomes 47. 47 becomes 37. And I've taken away my 3 tens. 1, 2, 3. I've taken away my 3 tens. Now I need to take away the ones. And you guessed it. Well done, guys. How many ones do I need to take away? 2. So 1, 2 1 jumps, 37, 36, 35. And that's my answer. So taking away on an unstructured number line is quite tricky. And if you need to stick to a structured number line, that's absolutely fine. But do give this a go. And if you get stuck, of course, email in. We are here to help.